First thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna play you guys a video that I got a hold of in HD. It's a behind the scenes video from the Batman upcoming movie with Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, and this one focuses on Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, played by Zoe Kravitz. And so this was part of an iTunes Batman over the years, and Matt Reeves and company did a little behind the scenes discussion. It's about a minute, and 10 minutes long. So let's check it out. This is my first time watching it in full and probably yours. So hopefully this stream doesn't get kicked off for copyright. But here at Fandom United, we're going to risk it. We're going to risk it for the sake of conversation. So here we go.
Dice. Yes.
Here we go.
With each generation, a new Catwoman emerges from the shadows. For director Matt Reeves, the Batman presented the perfect opportunity to reimagine the complex character of Selina Kyle.
The villains are often, some of the most, if not the most exciting part of the movies. I mean, the Rogues Gallery is incredible. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to see a Batman that was not an origin tale, but was sort of in these early days. But that meant that a lot of the characters who are the Rogues Gallery characters are in their origins in a way. And so we have a Selina Kyle who's not yet Catwoman.
Selina can take care of herself. She's incredibly tough. She really wants to fight for those who don't have someone else to fight for them. And I think that is where Batman and she really connect.
What's most interesting about Selina Kyle is that she represents the savior for the ill-treated, the forgotten, the people that have not had anybody looking after them. She's also very complicated. You don't quite know exactly where her loyalty or her allegiance lie.
I love how she moves as Catwoman. I mean, that takes some skill. People think it's just put on a costume and like make sure you get in shape and have good acting chops. There's a performance level to it, a theatrical, I mean, this is terrible. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but your thoughts on this behind the scenes video? Have you seen it before? And just talk about the Batman.
No, I haven't seen that. That's great. First of all, I love Zoe Kravitz. Yeah, she's just every time I see her, I'm like, she just looks so much like her mom. That's it blows me away. But that's a fact. I like that take. I like that because that's exactly right. That's whenever I envision that character. I think that's exactly right. She's not a mustache twirling. That's exactly what she is, essentially. But she is complicated. And just like exactly what they said right at the end, like you don't exactly know where her allegiances lie. She's not necessarily a villain. She's certainly, she's out for herself in a lot of ways. Just what we saw in The Dark Knight Return, or the
Rises.
Anne Hathaway.
Rises.
Rises.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Speaking of Anne Hathaway, great
exactly.
performance in that movie.
100%. She's great. She's great. It's exactly like that, where she's really kind of just out, for number one there. But sometimes she'll do what's right, and sometimes she'll just kind of make a decision that's best for herself. But she can often be swayed to do the right thing, in certain situations. But sure. She is definitely about self-preservation for sure. But and her relationship with Bruce is complicated, and which I love. I think I've always been fascinated by that. So I can't wait to see. Can't wait to see what they do there, and the fact that it's more of an origin for her, that's really cool.
That's something that Matt Reeves said back in at DC Fandom. First off, I can listen to Matt Reeves talk about the Batman.
He's into it, man. Yeah, that's great.
He completely owned that panel, the Batman. I think you were there, Rachel. I'm not sure if you were there, Star Drew, but I mean, a lot of it was just him talking about the mythology and Batman as a character and how he wanted to not only do. I mean, we've seen the origin of a hero, but to also give that same amount of effort and time in the movie to the villains as well. I mean, you got Colin Farrell's Oswald Cobblepot, Penguin, yes, and Paul Dano's Edward Nygma, the Riddler. I mean, you watch that first trailer where he has a green jacket and goggles. Yeah. He looks nothing like the Riddler at first, but they're gonna get there. And I think what this movie benefits is that we've seen the Batman origin story so many times that you can afford to take these liberties with how you're going to redo an origin story. You can do it to where you focus more on the villains, where you make it a little bit darker. You don't have to take us through the whole,
Sure.
murder of the Wayne parents.
Please don't show that again. God, I'm Matt Reeves. I trust him. I don't want to see that again. I really don't. That's one part of Joker that made me roll my eyes when I got to the end. I went, oh, they're doing that again. But yeah.
I mean, I think I'd be okay with him being Bruce Wayne. Like you guys can read my mind. Bruce Wayne and Andy Serkis's Alfred. Thank you. Wow. Them having a conversation about it,
Sure.
And maybe you hear background audio of like the events playing out. That's something I would imagine. But yeah, they can't do the same thing where they, give us the origin once again. So
yeah. Well, it's like, look, last night we just we watched Spider-Man 2. What's it called? Far From Home.
Far From Home.
No, Far From Spider-Man Far From Home. And there's 2 of those Spider-Man movies got almost no reference to. We haven't seen Ben's name. No real. There's a small hint to it in the first one about what happened, but nothing really. So it can be done. Because everyone knows it. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows the Batman origin. So I doubt that we'll see it.